Good morning. This week we are going to continue reading the Busy Body book. Okay, so if you haven't read it yet, please go to the YouTube link last week for reading, and I read the whole story there. And this week we're going to go through the body parts. So remember, the Busy Body book is by Lizzie Rockwell. This is called the what? Front cover. This is the back cover. Right here is called the spine, and inside are the pages. That's right, pages. So, and this is called the title page. Excellent job. I'm so glad that you remember. Okay, so I am going to go through this book. Do you remember it? And I'm going to talk about the body parts. So we're going to focus on the skeleton. So the skeleton is made up of 206 bones. That is a lot of bones. Can you see 206? 206. There are 206 bones in our body. Now the skull is right here, and the skull protects your brain. You have your teeth, and teeth are the only part of your skeleton that you can see. So your teeth are actually bones, and when you smile, you see them. Smile for me. Then you have the spine, and the spine is in the back, and is made up of many small bones connected by the joints, so your back can bend and twist. You have the ball and joint socket, which is right here like in your top shoulder. And it's in your shoulder, and it lets your arm move in a circle. Then you have your hinge joint where your elbow is at, and you can move your elbow up and down. And then you have your ribs that protect your lungs so that you can breathe and you can feel them right by your chest. Then you have another ball and socket joint right here at your hip to help you run. And then you have your thigh bone, and your thigh bone is the longest bone in your body right here. Then you have your hinge joint right here where your knee is at, so your knee can bend back and forth. And did you know that half of the bones in your body are in your feet and in your hands? Half the bones. All right, now we're going to move on to muscles. Ooh, look at these muscles. Nice and strong. You have tendons that attach muscles to the bones, and you have more than 20 tendons in each wrist. Then you have facial muscles that let you smile. Can you smile for me? Blink. Can you blink with your eyes? Chew. Can you pretend to chew like you're eating something? And talk. Can you say hello? Good job. Then right here where your wrist is at, you have muscles called a ligament that hold it together. Then you have triceps that help you push open a door underneath your arm right here, triceps. Then you have biceps, which are on top, and they help you lift heavy things. Then you have your gluteus maximus, is the large muscle on your bottom. Then you have your back and stomach muscles that let you stand up straight. Then you have your quadriceps, which is your left leg and bend your knee when you walk. You have the Achilles tendon, attaches your calf muscle to your heel bone. And then you have your ligaments down here that wrap around muscles and tendons to hold them in place so that you can walk or pick up stuff. Now you have the brain and the nerves. Now remember, your skull protects your brain. So if you take this bone off, the skull off, then you'll see your brain. But your brain is not really purple. So your brain is made up of the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. So the cerebrum is the largest part of your brain. It controls most of your thoughts and movements. The brain stem controls your heartbeat and health and breathing. The cerebellum controls balance and coordination. Can you jump up and down for me? Jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hop on one foot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Can you run for me for 5 seconds? Run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all your balance and coordination comes from the cerebellum. Then this yellow one right here is your spinal cord, and it's protected inside your spine, and it connects all other nerves to the brain. And then you have, see all these green things in your body? They're not really green, but to show you green. They're called the nerves, and they send millions of messages to your brain every minute. Like, for example, when you get hurt and you scrape your knee or your hand or your arm, and you're like, ow! Then you hurt the nerve, and the nerve tells the brain real fast, shh, and it says that you're hurt, and then you come tell me that you're hurt. So, and here are the 5 senses, and you're going to talk about this in science today and social studies this week. The 5 senses. You have sight, to see with your eye, hearing, to hear with your ear, smell, to smell with your nose, taste, to taste with your tongue and your mouth, and touch, to touch with your hand. Those are called the 5 senses. And now we have the lungs. Lungs are an important part because they help you breathe. Air enters your lungs through your mouth and nostrils. So you inhale, and you exhale out of your mouth, and you exhale waste. And then you have your tongue in your mouth. Then you have the esophagus, which leads food. Right here, the pink one is the esophagus, to your stomach. And then you have the bronchi, which is a branch off from the windpipe to help you breathe. These are all bronchi. Sometimes you've heard the word like bronchitis because these are inflamed. They're a little sore. Then you have the, I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Epiglottis closes when you swallow so food doesn't get into your lungs. Oh, so when you're eating, this thing closes so that the food goes not into your lungs, but into your esophagus, into your stomach. That's very important. We definitely need that working. And then you have the windpipe, leads air from your mouth to your lungs and out again. Then you have your lungs. And then you have the diaphragm right here. Underneath the diaphragm is a sheet of muscle that opens and closes the lungs as you breathe in and out. So it's at the bottom there, the diaphragm. Then you have the heart and blood vessels. The blood vessels carry blood into 2 different directions, away from and back to the heart and lungs. The heart is the strongest muscle in your body, and it beats more than 10,000 times a day. Can you say 10,000? Your heart beats 10,000 times a day. And vessels in lungs pick up oxygen that has been inhaled and dropped off, waste to be exhaled. Then you have arteries, which are the red ones. They carry oxygen-rich blood from the lungs out to the body. So you have blood that is running from your head down to your feet, and then from your feet back up into your heart and to your head. Then you have capillaries, or tiny blood vessels that allow blood to reach every part of you. And then you have your veins, which are the blue ones, and they carry oxygen, pour blood back to the lungs to be refreshed, and waste from blood is exhaled by the lungs. So God made our bodies super strong so that they can be healthy, that when we eat good stuff, then all the bad stuff can come out. Oh, here's one, the stomach and intestines. The mouth grinds food and mixes it with saliva. So here you go, into your mouth. You chew it up in your mouth right here. and it goes down the esophagus. You see the little piece of apple there? Esophagus pushes food down to your stomach. And there's your stomach right there. It churns food and mixes it with acid, and food becomes a thick liquid. And then it goes into the small intestine. It absorbs tiny food particles through its spongy lining, and food enters the bloodstream. So all the good nutrients goes into your blood to keep it strong. And then you have the large intestine, which is the green one. And the large intestine absorbs water and leads unused food parts out of your body when you use the bathroom. Okay. And that is all the body parts, and that helps us make us strong and help us do all kinds of fun activities inside and outside the home, and to read and write and do math and to do art and to be creative and listen to music. God made our body so, so important. So I hope you enjoyed learning about your body, and I will see you